This is a video log for November 24th, 2012. I'm choosing this format at this time because I have a couple of other videos in the works, and they are just taking longer than I had anticipated. So, just to keep you guys up to date and in the loop, I thought I would make a basic vlog. This last Thursday, Thanksgiving, I went to spend the holiday with my parents and my sister and her kids and a friend of my sister's. It was a good time. Lots of food, too much food, but I guess that's the normal Thanksgiving feast. I also had a couple of conversations with friends and family from whom I am geographically separated, and thus speak to somewhat infrequently. And I decided to share with them that I am making these videos. Which got some interesting responses. Nobody actually accused me of being crazy, but I don't think anybody that I shared the idea with really quite got the idea of whisper, soft-spoken, tingly kind of things. It's okay. Sooner or later, I've got to meet somebody in person who actually understands and gets what's going on here, but it has not yet happened. But in fairness, I don't really walk around pushing the issue as if I were going out as a missionary converting people for the cause of whisper videos. Strange concept. Anyway, in the course of conversations describing, watching, and making these videos, it came up that I was referencing the fact that people view my videos. I mean, what good are they if no one watches, right? Anyway, I had referred to you as a collective group as viewers, mostly because I just didn't know how else to refer to you. But it strikes me that the term viewers, although accurate to a point, is somewhat impersonal and doesn't convey the sense of camaraderie that at least I feel exists between me as the maker of videos and what I perceive of existing for you guys, the viewers. Of course, I could just be nuts. It occurred to me that the word fan might be applicable, but that also seems somewhat impersonal and I believe not necessarily accurate. I tend to associate the word fan with fans like sports fans or fans at rock concerts where there's a certain amount of over-the-top enthusiasm and devotion, which I'm not sure fits this dynamic. So I had rolled this around in my head and thought, maybe you're thinking about this too much. But I thought, why not ask you guys? A couple of things came to mind, as in Little Lovebirds, which was suggested for the radio host role play. I suppose something like Max Paxter's or something. It seems silly. That's far too specific to my channel. Anyway, I think what I will do is put it as a question on my Bill Max Voxpax Facebook page as sort of a survey poll type question. And I think there's a way of doing that you guys can vote on and also add to the options. And I think one of the options will have to be, all right, Bill, shut up, just make the videos, we don't care. So, it'll be interesting to see what you guys think anyway. And on that note, also, I know sometimes, especially the past several days, I have not been terribly verbose in my responses to comments on the videos. I have been trying to read comments, but as I make more videos, the number of comments is growing and my ability to respond is, well, also somewhat hampered by my lack of efficient use of time. But nonetheless, I do appreciate your guys' comments. I do try to read them. And when appropriate, I do try to remember and, if not directly respond on the page, well, I try to pay attention, as some of you know. On that note, there is another issue of comment wherein, well, I'll just start at the beginning. On the Lullaby video, I think it was Lullaby, someone had made a negative comment that was, well, struck me as, well, it just kind of struck me as bad. And in mulling in my head whether I should even dignify it with a response, especially seeing as so many of you have said such nice things, maybe I should just blow this guy off, or girl, I don't know. In any case, before I could even come to any sort of conclusive decision on whether or how to deal with such a thing. Several of you had commented on this particular negative comment in such a way that, well, it made me feel good that you guys responded the way that you did. It made me feel like, well, to put it simply, like you guys had my back. And that made me very happy. So, thank you for that. I'm sure you've heard other people who make videos say similar sentimental sort of things, but you guys and your comments and your support is terrifically meaningful. So, again, thank you for that. What else? I guess I could talk about a couple of things that are in the works so you'll know why you're sitting here listening to a vlog as opposed to something a little better crafted. Although, if you're anything like me, sometimes something better crafted really isn't necessary. You just want to put on the headphones, sit down in front of the screen, and kind of just go. But I have fun making these things. It seems that you guys enjoy them, so I guess some brief description of coming attractions. I'm working on something akin to the sleep countdown. It won't be a countdown per se, but it will be a sleep relaxation. I also have another math one. That, again, like the first math one, is proving time-consuming. Because I'm going to use again the presentation format, as it allows me to be fairly clear with the visual text. It just requires some time in putting the presentation together in such a way that I can narrate it and have it be cogent. My thinking is, if I'm going to bother making a math video, that the mathematics needs to be legitimate and personally up to a certain level of rigor. Well, because otherwise it just won't do. Also, there is a thing that I just recently started work on, which maybe I need to stop starting things until I finish. But it's going to be akin to Lullaby. And I have other things in the notebook, but we'll leave it at that for now. So there is stuff coming that will be more interesting than a vlog for those of you who wish to have something more interesting than a vlog. And for those of you for whom it doesn't matter, is that right, grammar? Then I suppose this probably worked out just fine. So, remember, check out the Facebook page, throw in your 2 cents on whether or not I should refer to you guys as anything in particular. You know, I could be like Lady Gaga and you could be my little monsters. Maybe that's a little over the top. just have a little extra interaction. And if not, I guess the lack of response on the Facebook forum will bear that out. Otherwise, I hope you have a relaxing time of it. And until next time, this is Bill signing off.